welcome everybody to the second webinar of the series called Pragmatic GenAI Solutions for Service Management and Operations. Each webinar is dedicated to a specific AI-powered use case with a real-time demo, followed by showing you the way to determine potential benefits of implementing this specific use case. So without any beating around the bush, just useful information on how you can apply GenAI in your industry. So please stay tuned. My name is Yegor. I'm an associate consultant at Teva Systems, a global boutique IT company specializing in GenAI and service management. Our primary focus is on ServiceNow, and we pride ourselves on being at the very forefront of the modern AI revolution. And today I'm joined by Kostya Bazanov, one of Teva Systems' co-founder, a ServiceNow architect, and an expert in applying generative AI in the corporate sphere. Welcome, Kostya. Can you please give us a little quick intro on your background and field of interest?
Yeah, thank you, Yegor. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Kostya. I'm the solution architect in this ServiceNow sphere. So already since more than 10 years in different industries, roles, client engagements, basically helping clients to establish a reliable ITSM platform. And helping service desks and process owner, application owners, and platform owners using ServiceNow efficiently. And since a year or so, we also started with exploring the Gen AI capabilities, and also ServiceNow is introducing the AI capabilities within the Now Assist almost every month. So it's an exciting time. And what we are currently doing, we are developing various AI-based solutions to improve, the inefficient ITSM or in general service management processes.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you, Kostya. And so today specifically, we are going to talk about the category called process quality control, but more specifically, how to mitigate change risks with automated quality evaluation in ServiceNow. I'm sure you all can name one of the most significant examples of not properly evaluating the change that led to a global IT outage. Well, in fact, according to parametrics, it will likely cost the Fortune 500 at least 5.4 billion in direct financial losses, just the one single change, an update. Yeah. And well, CrowdStrike even accepted a most epic fail award at the DevCon hacking conference. And well, Kostya, at this point, I would like to pass the mic to you. Please tell us what are the main challenges related to the process quality control companies are facing, how to minimize them by using our automated change request evaluation tool, well, and in general, just how not to fail when planning the change.
Yeah, in general, the complexity and risks increase nowadays because you have new technologies, new services, applications out there, and they introduced faster and faster. So it takes less time to introduce a software or an application or technology, and because you have like external providers, software vendors involved there. You have to change your IT infrastructure and applications continuously. And there are a lot of places where you can improve, but still, one of the major problems that we see and also talk to the clients of us is within the change management process. Where clients face a high number of outages and major incidents occur because of purely documented and purely planned change requests. And actually, because of high number of change requests, a high regulated change process, people in the organization have kind of change fatigue. They try to speed up the process, maybe to shortcut the corners. So there you have kind of pressure, and that's why the quality of the change decreases, and the number of outages might increase. And even Gartner has the statistics that say that the big portion of system outages and system degradations, I believe more than 80%, have a root cause in the pure change management process. So there is definitely something that you can improve, and that's why we target this use case as a solution and demo for today. You might probably think, okay, when you established a system, so why you should change it? You probably know this expression, never touch a running system, but actually you should always change your systems because of vulnerabilities, because of upgrades, because of infrastructure changes, migration, etc. So you should actually be ready to change continuously, but make sure that the change process is stable. Yeah, and we wrote the application called AI Assistant, and within the AI Assistant application, we have a catalog of different AI assistants. It's a kind of a small bot or a set of bots that help to eliminate manual work, like review, assessment, decision making, etc. And with the change request completeness and correctness verification, the bot analyzes the change request, initial change request details, and make an assessment if it's correct, if it's logical, if it has any dependencies, if it complies with your organizational best practices or requirements to document the change, like including backout plan, test plan, implementation plan, etc. And it gives them a feedback to a change requester what can be or should be improved in the change documentation. So it decreases the number of rework of the change request, because you have to write it down. You go to the change advisory board. They say, no, it's not sufficient. They send it back. You have to rewrite it. And so you have a big, long duration of your change request. So with the change assistant, you basically decrease all the process, and you increase the quality of the process, of the change itself. Let me straight away show how it's working. So it's quite a simple use case. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm currently in the ServiceNow environment, let's say as a process or application owner who would like to request a change. So I'll go and create a normal change. It's an empty form. I prepared a template that will fill out the form with the basic information. You see, I would like to deploy a new router, Cisco router. I have a short description, a justification that the switch must be upgraded, the implementation plan, and backout test plan, etc. This change could go well. It might be approved by change advisory board. I was participating in change advisory board, and I also protected or tried to protect some of change requests in my previous days. And you can imagine this as a group of people with maybe it could be 10 or 100 participants that sit in a call and then decide about the change request, about the potential risk and implications. So they don't have enough time and knowledge to decide if the change is okay or it's a risky. But in some cases, of course, they revert and you have to rewrite. To avoid the situation, you just go save this change, and then we have here on the right top corner, evaluate change, your action. And this basically calls our AI assistant. In the background, the AI assistant collects all required information from the change request and also from related CI record, etc., and sends to the large language model. And then it sends back the evaluation with the evaluation of the correctness. If the change description makes sense, if it's correct, for example, what does it say? We see, okay, it might be feasible. We mentioned something about Cisco Catalyst, but there are some gaps and issues, and basically states that the justification is vague. You might need to add some more details about the justification. The risk assessment is also not sufficient, because you might need to provide more details about impacted applications, services, about the disruption, destruction plan, schedule, etc. The implementation plan is also probably could be described in more detailed way, what kind of network is impacted, etc. So you see some findings and also recommendations for me as a change requester, what I could improve in the describing this. So I can read it then, and I basically go into the planning and write more in detail. As a next step, of course, you can use this information to automatically update the change. It would be the next step of automation. Like, for example, OpenAI will introduce the structured response capability. So they will basically, you will be able to define the structured response, for example, in JSON format. You can then take this JSON object and then put the implementation plan, justification, backout plan back into the change request. Yeah. How it's implemented, we have the AI assistant application with, as I said, with a catalog of AI assistants already. And let me show this AI assistants more in detail. So it's defined under prompts. You see, we have AI assistants in CSM, ITSM. Here's our change request analysis. It's basically a big prompt, as you know, probably from ChatGPT, that defines the context of the AI assistant about what should be checked, the details, recommendations, and then the prompt that has a simple structure with some placeholders. And the placeholders basically is what we feed on the runtime with the data from the change. We have the variables. Each variable gets the data, like, let's see, justification. It's a simple, let's say, getter method from ServiceNow. We read the justification field from the change request and put it back into the prompt during the runtime, and then the whole logic sends it to a large language model, in that case to OpenAI. You can parameterize, you can change some parameters here, change the model if needed, review all the executions. For example, this execution took us a bit more than 1,000 tokens, so you can also estimate the cost associated with that. And basically, this is the whole magic behind the AI assistant. And then you can integrate this AI assistants into any business logic, flow, schedule jobs, anywhere where you have manual activities. So the idea of AI or GenAI is basically to reduce work, to improve the quality by eliminating manual work, or by analyzing much more information than a human can analyze at some point of time. So this is a big advantage of this technology.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks and sounds so cool. And while I was listening to you, what do you think about like the next step, adding as well as recommendations, giving a user a potential risks that he might face when he's not, if he's not following all the recommendations that he received. Like, for instance, if you're not, so I give you the recommendations. If you will not follow this recommendation and proceed with the change request like it is, it will lead to like this, and this, like maybe even to a major incident, like to give a user kind of a perspective. What if, you know?
Yeah, that's a good interesting point. Of course, within change requests, you have the affected CIs, so the applications or infrastructure that you will change. The potential blackout or disruption of the service, and you of course can calculate based on the criticality that is tracked in your, for example, SIMDB. You can calculate the costs, the costs of unintentional service degradation. Yeah. And this can also help, to pay more attention and pay or invest more time into writing better change requests.
Okay, so basically, so this assistant gives you not just a recommendation on how to properly fill up the change request, but what actions needs to be done manually or in the field for this change to go smoothly.
Yes, correct. So basically, it's in first place, this AI assistant supports requester, so someone who requests a change. But of course, another prompt, another AI assistant can support, for example, a change advisory board, so CAB, during the CAB meeting, where you have, normally it's 2 or 3 hours change advisory board with all the people sitting there and going a change request by change request, trying to analyze fast, efficient, and correctly. And in this case, also another AI assistant can help analyzing this change request and also giving some hints of if it's risky or not too risky, if the information is sufficient or not. So there is a big area of improvement in the entire IT library, let's say in the IT service management or service management processes, because everywhere where people are involved, where you have manual steps, you have failures.
Yeah, sure. And well, some experienced ServiceNow users may ask, what is the difference between risk analysis that's already exists out of the box in ServiceNow? So what's what's the benefits and what's the difference between those, our solution and this tool?
Yeah, let's say this AI assistant is more like evaluation of the change. If the change is complete and correctly defined, the risk calculator is it's not AI. It's basically a predefined set of rules to identify the risk score within the change request. So it helps to have more or less predefined calculator outcome. But in order to have the reliable risk score, you have to provide sufficient information within the change request. And this is exactly where the change evaluator helps. So it helps to define, document a proper change request. Then it goes to the risk calculator with the proper information. And then you go into the change advisory board with all this information that you provided and correctly described. And then can make a better decision, go or no go. Yeah. So this is basically everything just to support the entire or the process afterwards.
Okay, I see. So basically, users can use the out-of-the-box risk analysis as complementary tool to even further ensure that there are no risks and potential disruptions. Okay, I see. But what about Now Assist for ITSM specifically? And I'm sure that like maybe ServiceNow has some plans to improve this risk analysis, change analysis tool. So what are the difference between their solution and our, and what are the plans for future?
Of course, you might say that we compete with ServiceNow here, and not really, because Now Assist is of course a comprehensive out-of-the-box solution. It is quite limited right now within Now Assist ITSM. The assists are more about summarization, knowledge article creation. You have also Now Assist for Outtro for event analysis or event summarization. So it's definitely very valuable, but it doesn't cover everything. Yeah? Maybe it covers only 1% of potential use cases. But still, ServiceNow creates new assists and publishes almost every month. And as I know, in the future releases, you will be able to write your own prompt. So besides summarization, you just write your prompt, you select your AI provider. So actually what we did here, and you can use it within your process. Yeah, of course, our solution will be obsolete here, but as I say, I don't want to compete with ServiceNow. But here, the biggest, let's say, IP or the value is within the prompting. So correctly understanding what is the use case for AI, what data do you need, how do you structure your prompts, and integrate it into your flow. Yeah, so, and as soon, of course, as ServiceNow will provide these capabilities, I also advise clients to use Now Assist because it definitely will help increase quality and decrease the number of major outages that are caused by the change requests.
Yeah, well, yeah, and maybe it makes sense when the client's very specific about the data and data security, and they don't want to share data with the third-party LLM models. So everything they want, and everything to be within the ServiceNow ecosystem. Okay, so the time is slowly running. Just one more question before we move on to the next part regarding the actual value that this AI assistant can bring, and in terms of efforts, savings, and probably financial benefits from implementing these solutions.
That's probably when you have process owner or change owner, then they are mostly care about their KPIs, and this specific use case helps to increase the change success rate. It's an KPI that the change owner or change management owner has. It's basically the percentage of successfully implemented change requests without causing a major incident or a disruption. And it overall increases the change quality or change quality index and user satisfaction.
Yeah.
So basically, when you have dissatisfied users because of low stability of the applications, that plays a big role. Yeah? And this solution helps to improve this kind of KPI. So basically, success rate, quality, and user satisfaction.
And yeah, probably more importantly, the potential savings from avoiding incidents caused by changes. And well, actually, I will take over then from you, Costa, as we also at Taylor Systems, we developed I would call it a complementary app to our AI solutions, our assistants, an app called GenAI Assessment tool that's already free, available at ServiceNow store, that can actually help you roughly determine a potential savings from implementing a specific GenAI use case. So without any further ado, let me share you my screen. So can you see my screen now, I guess?
Yeah.
Sure. So this is how the application looks like. We wanted to make it as simple as possible, basically just a magic one button up. Here is the list of use case categories that we've already covered. Some of them, well, most of them from now by ServiceNow Now Assist, and some of them are our own in-house. And here are the list of upcoming use cases. So basically, after pressing the start button, in order to save time, I'm not going to press it now, but I've done the calculations already. So after pressing the start button, you will land on the findings overview page, which covers all the use cases that are relevant and applicable to your organization. So as you can see, our organization has 10 applicable use cases, and this is how much money we can save by implementing all of them, and this is how much time we can save, again, after implementing all the use cases. So today we talked about process quality control. As you can see, within this category, we have change request evaluation use case. It has 4-star applicability rating, which is good. And if we proceed to the use case page, well, you can see quite a significant number of almost $3 million after implementing just this small change request evaluation assistant. But it actually those numbers are based on your specific instance. So this is the data-driven result, I would say. So here, as you can see, this result was based on 100 incidents that was caused by changes for the last year. So if a company would have implemented our change request evaluation tool, they could have saved this amount of money. And here you can see a breakdown of incidents levels. So it was like 15 P1 incidents, 20 P2, and so on and so forth. I know this is quite big number, but we were very humble in our assumptions, and we give you flexibility to change those numbers. If you think that in your organization P1 or P2 or P3 level incidents they cost less or more, again, you are free to change those numbers here and recalculate the number. So yeah, basically this is the tool. Very simple, but like I said, it's a data-driven solution. If you're concerned about your data, no data leaves your instance. So we are not sending your data to any third-party LLM model. So everything based on our own formulas and calculations. And yeah, you can use it straight away. It's available on ServiceNow store, and yeah, it's very useful, and like I said,
it's quite a significant number. Right? So
yeah,
might help to argument why you need AI in your organization.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
a good argument. Yeah.
at the end of the day, the numbers can be different if you consider all the like implementation costs and so on and so forth. But like I said, at least you have a real number, you have a data-driven result, which can give you an idea, and at least you can see that, okay, this certain use cases are applicable to my organization. So
of course, if I have a few major incidents per year, and something like this solution will help me to avoid at least one major incident. One major incident might cost hundreds of thousands of euro. Then it's already something that should be considered. That's indeed.
yeah, exactly. Well, at this point, I think we've ran out of time, and well, we basically covered everything that we wanted. And Kostya, thank you so much for answering all of my questions and for such insightful discussions. We might have
maybe any further questions?
a couple of minutes maybe for Q&A session if we have. We might have only one question to you. Basically, in general, what do you see as critical success factors in developing such an assistance? Like, for instance, like we talked today, or in general, as we have like more of them. What would be your approach, and what are the success factors?
I think first of all, the most important is not trying to solve a big problem. Instead, breaking down a big problem, a big issue into smaller use cases, let's say so, and then implement such kind of assistance or automations based on these small use cases. You will avoid, or this increases the quality of the automation or of the prompting itself, because it's very specific onto the point. And this also reduces the costs associated with big prompting, because smaller prompt, less tokens and less price. Then the next, I would say, it's important to plan and spend a significant amount of time in designing prompts and maybe playing around, throwing away, writing again, and looking what kind of prompt fits for your organization. Also including all your best practices and compliance requirements and technical governance, etc. And the thought would be probably is that you should definitely provide context and your specific data to the LLM, because LLM without context and your the relevant data like CI information, asset information, employee information doesn't have any value. And you should at least provide the information that a typical employee or field service manager or support desk employee will also need to analyze your problem. So everything, to talk to your staff, to talk to your people, and trying to understand what kind of information they need to work on this specific use case, on this specific problem. Then you will have a good assistant, AI assistant.
Okay, I see. Well, Kostya, once again, it was lovely having a discussion to you, and I'm sure we have more topics to talk. And like I said, it's our webinar series will continue, so we will cover more and more use cases. And well, thank you all for joining us today. As I mentioned in the beginning, We will continue this series. And if you think that you would like to automate your business and discover some use cases that are specific to your needs, do not hesitate us, our experts, as Kostya just explained. He has a very comprehensive vision on how to implement and how to develop those assistants and AI solutions. So please contact Teva Systems. In the meantime, thank you once again. Thank you, Kostya. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye until the next time.